for the time, for the hour we have together. Do we take an hour, a full hour, or do we take 45?
Yes,
Full hour, that's what I thought.
full
And
hour, yes.
somewhere I saw shorter and I thought, oh no, we need the hour.
Okay,
Yeah, we need the hour and it's good. So let's begin. And you can start seated or you could start standing. I think if you sit a lot and you feel like your legs aren't getting enough,
yes,
standing, they say right now that, sitting is the new smoking, right? They say, because we do
yes,
so much sitting. So I have been trying to do more standing postures and more standing meditation for that reason. Oh yeah, good. Here's Susanna. Because we need to stimulate, right, the hips and the lower back. Excuse me. And so I would say if you feel like you've done a lot of sitting lately, maybe
yes.
come on up to standing. And if you feel like, oh, I've been standing for hours and hours, I need to sit, that's okay too. And we'll just begin. We're going to begin with some really small movement. But first, let's find some stillness. And I
Yes.
like to put some hands on my body, but you could have your hands anywhere you like. They could be in prayer position, or they could be in your lap or at your sides. But we just come into some neutrality, some sense of resting, some sense of taking this time to rest, right? To start to give the gift to the mind, to the body and spirit, to give this gift of integrating, right? Of bringing it all together, right? So rather than scattered, right? Like leaves, right? Or like our energy, like bringing it all together. And let's just do this by just starting to notice maybe the flow of the breath. And this might be for me right now, it's in my belly. I can most easily sense the breath moving. But for you, it might be at your nostril or in your chest. And what I want to say right away is if that creates some agitation, if that makes you kind of feel nervous, or if you're, feeling sort of like your mind and heart are racing, and then that makes it worse, then that's not the thing to do. Right. So I like to start with this kind of self-compassion. And the hands kind of symbolize that, right? This caring for the nervous system, the mind and heart and belly as they are, right? So just noticing, what the state of it is inside today, inside your experience. Just generally what the state is, what the weather report might be, or if there's certain, sensations that are really calling you, whether it's pain or discomfort or something more neutral or even a pleasurable sensation. Yeah, just just seeing in a really compassionate way like that, I'm here for whatever is present today. And that can be really something, right? To say, I'm going to be here for whatever is present. I'm going to pin my video so y'all will be in the sidebar. You won't feel so on stage, right? Um, so yeah, so just feeling into maybe the breathing, right? Maybe the breathing, if that creates a sense of ease, right? Or just resting in this beautiful compassion, this sense that, wow, we're taking an hour to really give to the body, mind, and heart something it needs, right? Something it needs. So let's take a moment to just leave any expectations, maybe in a basket. If you can imagine, there's like a little basket in your room where you are, and just putting in there any expectations you have for the practice, that you're going to feel better, that you're going to feel great, that you're not going to feel distracted or angry, or you're going to be, whatever it is. Just you can put all those to the side for a moment and let's just be with what really is present today, here in the body and mind for a moment. You know, setting the stage for like the judging mind, the thinking mind, the whatever mind, to just be able to be as it is. And we're going to just kind of help the whole situation to relax if we can, to create more spaciousness, more ease, ultimately, maybe. And I think that is what will be the result. But we'll let go of that in favor of just taking care, like using as much of our energy to genuinely just take care of this system, this mind, body, heart system, right? So let the arms come out wide now. Just let them come out to the sides a little bit. Just feeling the openness of the hands. Yeah, and we could try this at shoulder height or lower. And let's let this be our first movement that will link to the breath. Ready? So here we begin this mindful movement where we're going to let the in-breath just float the arms up a little bit, just a little bit, open hands, and the out-breath is just going to let them come back to rest. So simple, and I don't know, I find it really beautiful, right? Inhaling just to kind of greet this day and everything we're experiencing with loving kindness, with acceptance. Take that again, just an in-breath, and this time just stay for a few breaths while you just notice your breathing. Notice if there's any gripping that you could let go of, any holding on that you could let go of. You know, to sort of sit back inside of the experience. Good, and let the arms rest. Now let's go forward with the arms. Let's float the arms up in front of the body, just to maybe shoulder height or lower. And then let the out breath bring them back down. Yeah, so your stance can be wide or narrow. Maybe shoulder height. And then back down. And this is with the pace of your own breath. Yeah, once more, float the arms just somewhere in front of the body and stay for a moment. Just turning your head a little, chin to the right. A little nod with your chin to the right. Sensing both feet, both knees, the hips and pelvis, right, the belly. Bring the head back to center and go the other way. And just a little nod while you sense the whole spine. Good, and then head back to center. Now let's try this. Let's try palms up. We have people arriving. Yeah, try palms up. Try touching just your left hand to the top of your shoulder. And then inhale, come back to palms up. Now this is a little demanding, so do what you can and just exhale and just left hand to the top of the shoulder.
Okay, so what's separating?
There we go. And then inhale. Take that once more. So just your left hand and your elbows up at shoulder height to the top of your shoulder, and just notice what you feel as you allow some breaths just as they are. Good, and then open the palms up. Good. Good, let's try the other side. Let's exhale the right hand to the top of the shoulder. And then the inhale, just your right hand forward. And you might have to rest, because I know for me sometimes this can be challenging, but this is so good for the elbows and the shoulders. You can feel the squeeze and then the release, right? And breath moves into the body, right? Exhale and touch and just stay for a moment. Right? Be aware of the legs and the feet as you allow a couple breaths. Aware of the upper arms and shoulders. Inhale, the hand palm open. Take a little pause with the arms at the sides. Yeah, just pause, palms open, sensing the breath, and letting the system relax and receive. Just relax and receive the benefits of these movements that are just different from what we do day to day, right? Different from typing at a keyboard, different from going to the store, different from driving. Just little therapeutic movements that strengthen and stabilize. And then the way we do them and their power, right, just creates more spaciousness within us, more of your natural state. Right, let's try both arms. So this is the in breath, and then here's the out breath. In breath, the chin can be a little bit down. Out breath. Good in breath. So you can sense the long back of the neck. Out breath. Could stay this time right here for a few breaths. And let's continue to work with the arms for a bit. So I'm going to make my stance wider in standing. And you can do whatever you like if you want to sit or you want your stance to be narrow or wide. We're going to take a different arm shape. Right? And so this is like big right angles with the arms, if possible. Like I said, in a chair, in kneeling, in standing, any way you like. Just gonna bend the knees and close the elbows together. Right? So just kind of pasting the elbows together for a few breaths. Good, and then inhale, just opening the arms out wide again. Good, and exhale, closing. Good, and inhale, opening. Exhale, closing. Good, and inhale, opening. Good, one more time. Exhale, closing. Now let's try something we call the beginnings of eagle pose, where you're just gonna hug the arms in a similar way by looping one elbow under the other, right? So I don't know if you saw that, but I just took my right arm and scooped it under my left. And then I'm holding my hands, but sometimes that's not possible. Sometimes it's really just some kind of little squeeze where the bottom elbow is kind of cradling the top elbow, and you can feel this through the shoulders, all the way around the yoke of the shoulders. Right? Just a little squeeze, a little hug, tight hug. Good, and then rest the arms. Again, just let them rest, palms open. Good, now we took the arm position here, but let's try this with a standing posture with warrior one, right? So let's step, and you can hold on to something, but let's step 1 foot back. So I'm using my right foot, and I've got like rubber soled shoes on, so I'm stable here, but you definitely want to be on something kind of grippy, right? So you can feel your toes as you step that foot back. And you could do this more narrow, right? It could be just the foot a little back or the foot further back, right? And we're just gonna feel the front knee bending. So I've got my front heel under my front knee, and I'm just gonna bend the knee, and then we're gonna come back to this position with the arms. That goddess pose, it's known as the elbows at shoulder height. You see this position in like fertility symbols, right? With the arms wide like this, and the elbows bent. Yeah, so we've got the front knee bent, the arms wide, just for a few breaths, soft through the hands. Let's leave the arms like this and just step forward. And we'll step back with the other foot. So we're gonna go exhale, step back, and just feel that strength through the legs. And then inhale, let's step the foot forward and we'll reach our arms all the way up. Good, so let's try it like that. We'll go exhale, one foot back, elbows wide. And then inhale, arms up, feet side by side. Good, so exhale, stepping back. I know it's kind of a lot. How strengthening it is, right? And then inhale. One more time. And exhale. Because we want to relieve ourselves of some shoulder tension, right? And that's going to happen through this squeezing that we're getting here. So now let's step forward, and remember how you made a little basket under one elbow? Do it with the other one now and just give a little squeeze. And just nice and easy breaths through the nose. Good. Now, in the same way that we did some lunging, we can do some strengthening in twisting of the spine, right? To help wring out tension all the way up and down the spine. So let's try it like this. Let's try pyramid pose. So let's step the right foot forward. I'll go this way. The right foot forward and the left foot just right behind it. And with this one, it's not a bent front knee. It's just two long legs. I think of like an ironing board, right? So you've got like two legs, long legs, and then we're gonna hinge at the hips. So place the hands on the body again. Yeah, and let's just hinge. Let's just go heart forward a little. Now we're balancing on 2 feet, like we're on a tightrope, right? Like a high wire. Just some folding and some core strength. And then inhale, just rise back up. So this could be done with the hands in any position. Right, we'll go forward. And inhale, slowly up. Let's try one more time. We'll go forward and stay this time. This forward bend. One foot in front of the other. Just turn your face to the right. Good, and turn your head back to center. And then inhale, come slowly up. Good, and rest the arms. And then step the back foot forward and stand again at rest. Just notice the effects in the legs, right? Maybe the lower leg, feet. Allow a few more natural breaths. Good. Let's step the other foot forward, the left foot forward. Is that right? Yeah. The left foot forward and the right foot back. So it's these long legs. We're just going to take the gentlest little bow forward. You can feel the whole long spine, right? Bowing, the legs stable, even. And then inhale, drawing up. Try it again. A little exhale. Really using the legs. Inhale up. One more time. Exhale, fold. And this time we're going to look a little bit to the left. Good. And then head back to center. Inhale, coming up. So good. Gently, gently give a little rub to your lower back, even a little massage with your fists. Good. Let's do one more thing here in standing, and then maybe we'll work our way down a bit. Well, maybe not one more thing, maybe a couple more things, because it's so important, right? So important. So let's try, if we can, a little balance where we're going to lift one knee. You can hold on, right? But we're going to lift. Well, I'm doing the right knee, but you could do either. And we're going to see if we can give it a little squeeze in standing. If you have a belt or something, that could work too, if holding the knee is hard, or even holding onto some. And then we're going to try the other side. Of course, this can be done in a chair too. Good. Now let's try tree pose. I'm going to take my shoe off for this, right? So maybe holding on, take my shoe off, and I'm going to attach my foot to the inside of my left leg, but it could be anywhere, right? Down here low or up higher. And I'm going to let my hands be either out wide or further up, like the trees out here. Seeing this receptive it can be a wobbling tree. I can hear all kinds of squirrels moving around in the trees around me. Good. So we can slowly try the other side. Right, the other leg. Maybe hold on. Maybe you're stable enough. There's always a little movement. There's always some work going on. But how much stillness can I cultivate, right, within all the activity? And what might else feel like stillness for you, Forgiveness, maybe? Ease, calm, or maybe excitement feels like stillness, maybe more energy would feel. A few more breaths. Maybe you want to explore different arm position. There's no doubt tree pose is so powerful. We should never stop doing it, right? We should never stop doing this little balance. It really is so good for us. Yeah, take your time on that side. Tree pose. Now, I love it if when you come down, we could do a little kneeling. And I know it's not possible for everyone, but if we can do some kneeling, I'm going to show you how I'm going to kind of pad my surface down here. And I'm just going to use this jacket, so it doesn't take much. But for me, if I can create a little padding, then I could kneel pretty well. For you, I'm not sure. I definitely have spots on my knees where I can't kneel because of little falls I've had. So you might have similar things, and maybe kneeling at all isn't going to work. But if it does, it just has great benefit for the hips, for the whole spine. And because our spines are so long, this kind of shortens the distance from in a forward bend. And that is a really nice thing. So try it out. And we won't be here too long if it doesn't work for you. But we're going to just let our arms rise a bit. Let's start with just one. So if you can put your hands behind your back or at your sides, that works. And then bring awareness to your right arm. And inhale and let your right arm float up overhead. And then as you exhale, fold forward and let your right arm come behind your back. You're going to turn your face to the left. So this is a little forward bending twist with one arm, right? So let's try it again. We'll go lifting the heart, inhale, coming up. The arm floats up. And then as we fold, the arm comes behind the back and the face turns to the left. So try it again. Inhale, gliding up. Good, and gliding down. And I just want you to feel into this so you can find the range of movement that's best for you. Because maybe it's a little bow or maybe it's a big bow. But we've got some good movement here for the belly, the hips, the shoulder, the head, the neck. So just feeling into this little movement. And let's hold for a few breaths in the forward bend. Just take a few breaths in the downward shape. Good, and then turn your face to the right. And this next time, let your left arm come up. So this can be kind of strong for the back, right? Strengthening for the back. So we'll make sure we don't do too many. But we'll see if we can repeat this once or twice during the week to build this strength and evenness, right? This stability and vitality through the lower back. Good. So let's stay on the next one in the forward bend for a few breaths. And then let's inhale both arms up and stay for a few breaths. Right, just sensing into the belly, into the lower back, into the ribs. Good, now let's take a little forward fold with both arms wide, the head coming toward the floor, and the hands at the lower back. If your head touches the floor, you can let it, right? And then inhale, we're lifting from the heart, coming up again. Really bringing energy into the lower spine. Let's try it twice more if you can. You can hold on this next one. Good. And then bring your hands to the floor if you can. And let's come to kind of all fours for a moment. So we're going to go from kneeling on 2 knees if possible, and then we'll be on our backs after this. So if this won't work for you either, this will be our last thing in this kind of kneeling position. But if you can bring your forearms down to the floor and be on your knees like this. I tuck my shirt in. But we're going to lift a leg behind us while we just lean on the forearms. Okay, so leaning a bit, and just again to give some stimulation to the lower back, we'll take one knee centered. So center the left knee under the pelvis. And then inhale and just extend the right leg out long behind. Good, so you can feel the weight of the head, neck, and shoulders, of the chest, as we lean into this left hip, into the heart, into the shoulders. Good, try the other side. Try centering the right knee and sending the left foot back. Just appreciating this weight in the arms, right through the shoulders, through the chest. Turning your head a little bit, side to side. And coming back to 2 knees. Good, now let's do that once more and we'll just lift that leg a little bit. So we'll send the right leg back again. And then we'll float it off the floor just slightly. We'll lower it. And then we'll float it up. Lower it. And we'll float it up. Let's do that one more time. We'll lower it. And then we'll float it up. Now, if you want to go further, and you want to just try bending the knee, make sure you're not going to kick anything. And lengthening the leg. You take a couple of those. If kneeling hasn't become too much, you're still okay on your knee, you can do 2 like that, maybe 1 more. And then we'll come down back to 2 knees, softening the face, the neck, and then centering the right knee and sending the left leg back. So you're on your tiptoes. You're just going to float your leg off the ground a little bit. And really this is, in my mind, so we bring some stimulation to the upper back, to the chest, all around the heart, as well as to the lower back. Right, relaxing the leg and floating it up. Relaxing the leg and floating it up. Relaxing the leg, and one more time, floating it up. And then if you've got it in you to bend the knee a few times, if all is well, right? If the knee you're kneeling on still feels fine, and you're up for a few more breaths here, a little lengthening and lengthening and bending. And then all together, we'll come back to 2 knees. And just like I promised, we're going to work our way down to our backs. So if you can find your way, I'm just going to adjust my camera a little bit. If you can find your way down to your back. Let's see which way I should be. I think I'm going to go like this. So we're going to let your knees come toward your chest. Yeah, just resting on your lower spine. Yeah, so this little position is called apana in the yogic tradition. Just a little ball shape. So great for the whole spine, right? Drawing energy toward the head. Good, and just feeling the spine at rest, the movement of the breath. Good, let's try lowering the feet and then bringing them back here, right? So inhale, just letting the feet land, letting the arms float overhead. And then exhale, knees coming back to the chest, hands landing on the knees. Take this again, inhale, feet landing, arms overhead. Exhaling, knees in toward the chest. And again, inhale, feet landing, arms overhead. You'd stay for a few breaths, feeling this openness in the chest through the ribs. Good, one more soft in-breath. And then exhale, come back to hands on the knees. Good. Now, let's try lengthening the right side, keeping the left hand on the left knee. And with an inhale, just reaching this right side out long. The foot in front, the arm overhead. And then exhale, coming gently back. Try again, inhale, this long reach. Exhaling, coming back. Inhale. Now, one of the things I love to do in mindful movement practice is to bring a little sound into the exhale. Another way to help the mind really be present and really kind of help integrate with the experience. So I'll show you what I mean. I go like this. It also has the effect of lengthening the exhale if done in a relaxed way, and that has really great benefits. One more time. Just stay for a few breaths and we'll bring our awareness over to the left side. So we'll keep the right hand on the right knee. And with an inhale, we'll extend the left arm and the left leg. Good. So let's do that with the next in-breath. A long reach. And then the exhale brings us back. A long reach on the in-breath. And this is at the pace of your own breathing. And let's use the chant if you like, right? So you'll, on the out breath, one more time. Good, let's put the feet on the ground. Good, and for a moment, just let the knees rest together. Float the arms up and wrap them around your chest for a few breaths. Just in this little creative rest position. Sensing the heaviness of the head, sensing through the neck and the face, with a real, if possible, just this gentle generosity, this patience, this curiosity, just to be with, just to gently, gently be with the body and mind as they are, as they're experiencing. Good. And then let's separate the knees and have the feet just right under the knees. Good. And let the arms come down by the sides. And before we press into both feet and see how it feels to lift the hips, let's just lift one hip. So go ahead and lengthen your left leg. And just keeping your left hip on the floor, just press into your right foot so your right hip lifts off the floor. So just half of the trunk of the body is off the floor. And then exhale and just relax that right hip and right buttocks back to the ground, right? So we're just like when you lift up when you need to change a tire, right? You have to lift, but in that case, you lift both hips, lift the whole axle. In this case, just one, just the hip. Left hip is on the ground. I was going to give you a bad metaphor, but anyway, come up again once more. Stay for a few breaths. And then lower down. Good. Try the other side. So now you've got a long right leg, a bent left knee, and we'll keep this right side on the ground so we can just press into this left foot. The body tilts a little bit to the right, and we'll feel the left hip at work to create this little bit of a back bend, right? A little bit of an arch through the left side. And releasing. So letting the joint do its work, right? Letting the hip do its work by pressing forward, right, with that left hip and lowering. And we'll use one more to just explore, to just stay for a few breaths. And coming down. Good. Now let's bend both knees. Right, so we're stimulating the hips a little bit and the lower back. Let's inhale and lift the hips, both hips. Good. Now, what's it like to exhale, come down maybe halfway? And inhale, lift again. Try that a few times. Exhale, lower the hips, maybe halfway, maybe all the way if it feels best to. And then inhale, pressing up. Lowering down. Pressing up. At your own pace a few times. And then maybe holding at one level for a few breaths. Good. And then coming down when you're ready. Take the soles of your feet together now and let your knees rest wide. Again, you could wrap the arms around the chest or leave them wide. Taking a little pause. as we move toward closing the practice down. We're going to let the hips open and close a little bit. All these parts of the body are made to move in so many ways that it's so important for us to kind of oil the joints, right, with this beautiful energy of breath that comes through the breath, right? So let's take our arms wide. Let's extend the left leg long and the right knee out to the side. So now we're in tree pose, but on the back. And again, you've got your palms open, just resting. Right, the right knee open. And as we feel the exhale, we're going to close the right knee, bring it to upright, and bring the hands together. Inhale, knee open, arms wide. And exhale, hands together, knee. Inhale, arms wide, knee wide. Exhale, knee up and hands together. Once more, inhale. Exhale, good. Let's try the other side. We can leave the hands up here. We'll lengthen the right leg, bend the left knee. And we'll start with the in-breath. Right, inhale, left knee open, arms wide. And exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Good, inhale, open. Exhale, close. Let's do two more. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Good. One more time. Good. Inhale, open. And exhale, close. And now we'll bend the right knee as well. Yeah, knees and feet together so they touch. Arms extending up toward the sky. Take a pause here, just seeing what it's like to straighten the elbows. Noticing how that gives the chest, the heart, a nice squeeze all around. Even the throat, right, can get a nice squeeze, a little squeeze to help bring out the old. Good, now let's open and close. Let's inhale and open the arms and open the knees. Good, and exhale, slowly close. Inhale, open. We can try the chanting here as well by going Good, now let's try this. Let's try inhale, opening, and exhale, closing just halfway up, right? So you're gonna go exhale halfway. Inhale, open. Try that again. Exhale halfway. Inhale, open. Try that again. halfway closed. Inhale, open one more time. Halfway closed. Good. Now all the way closed. Take a couple breaths and come into Shavasana. Come into corpse pose. Just lying flat. Taking a moment, if you like, to make yourself a little more comfortable there. If you have an eye pillow, or you have a little pillow, or you want to cover up a little bit if it's chilly. And we're going to take just a bit of a guided relaxation to close the practice. And you could do this seated as well if that's better for you. I'm going to sit just so I can see you all and see the beautiful leaves. But lying down is just as good and maybe even better, since after all that movement, standing. So letting your arms open, letting your palms open, closing the eyes, making any adjustments, or even doing a little squeeze and release as you settle into this kind of like being a pancake, being a puddle of water right on the ground, just spreading out, sinking in to the earth in all her glory, right, to lying upon the ground, or as close to the ground as you can get, and receiving the earth's pulse, the earth's breath, the earth's life, literally, your body made of the earth. Let's take some breaths, some deeper breaths. Let's inhale a long, soft in-breath, followed by an equal length out-breath. And then just some natural breathing, just your natural breath. As you let your eyes rest, the sockets, let your face rest. Maybe a hand on the body would help the belly or the chest to relax. And again, let's take a long, soft in-breath and an equal length out-breath. And back to relaxed breathing. Just letting the weight of the bones fall into the floor. One more time, a long, soft in-breath, an equal length out-breath, and then just natural breathing. All right, giving some awareness to maybe the mind, its thoughts. We're giving a little awareness just to say hello to the emotional states that move through us, right, that we seem to move in and out of, just acknowledging those. And of course, the sensation, let's just let awareness touch into some parts of the body and experience that feeling sense, that felt sense. So let's just let awareness touch into the right toes, just visiting, just a sense of the right toes. And it might be a sense of numbness or even soreness. It could be anything, right? Heat, tingling, but a felt sense of the toes. And now the whole right foot, the ankle and the heel, the arch. And then what about the shin and the calf? Just see if you can let awareness sense the shin, the calf, and the knee, the inside and the outside of the knee. And now the right thigh, all around the right thigh, and now the right hip, just lightly, gently sensing into the right hip. And now across the trunk and the belly, right through the pelvis, the genitalia, even the organs, all the digestive, elimination organs, right through the trunk of the body, over into the left hip. This might be easy for you or not easy, but it's just that tiny bit of effort, not too much effort, just floating awareness into the left hip. And then let's travel from the left hip down to the left thigh, left knee. This sensation of left calf and shin, left ankle, left heel, left sole of the foot, arch of the foot, left toes. Awareness just touching in to both feet if possible. And then coming up the backs of the legs, bringing awareness up to the lower back, right? Lower spine, lower back. Let's let awareness just gently, we're moving rather quickly, but we'll just let awareness inhabit the belly, right? And the ribs. Good, and let's go from ribs to arms, both arms, feeling into arms and hands, forearms, elbows, shoulders. Let's go to neck and head next. Neck, head, brain, eyes, crown of the head, and then down through the face, right across the forehead, nose, cheeks, and mouth, through the throat and neck, ears, right tongue and jaw, and then going down the front of the body and into the heart. Spend some time at the end of our practice here just visiting heart, the cave of the heart. Not really the heart organ, although that's a thing too, right? But just the space of the heart center, the well, right? The heart well. Play on words, but really that cave, that space of the heart. Just resting in there together for a bit, providing comfort and ease, kindness and patience. And maybe even summoning some bravery in your heart. Some bravery just to stand with you in any moments where you sense fear, right? And you think that might be the reality. Just access that bravery, that strength in your heart. And that kind of a little bit of a warrior spirit, but a love warrior spirit, right? Some bravery to fill your heart with breath and with the breath of this moment, right? This moment right here, right? And maybe extending some of the fruits of today's practice toward yourself as well as others that we know who might be suffering all across the globe, right? Sending some of your strength, not all of it, but some of your strength. Or maybe all of your strength, right? Knowing that you'll grow more with each breath. more minutes. To nurture and rest in just integration. Just letting the next hour especially be of one of more integration of integration of thoughts, emotions with this big beautiful heart tending to all of it. So thank you for being here, everyone. Thank you for your practice. Send us any feedback too, like if you have some needs from this practice, feel free to send them along to Sandy or even to me in the chat box, and I can tend to those. If you have some special needs you'd love to be included in the practice, I'd love to welcome that. So I'll see you next Thursday at 10. Have a beautiful day.
Thanks.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.